Commissioner Skidmore.
Present.
I would like to welcome everyone here in the audience as well as everyone listening and watching. We will start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Pastor Timothy Roth of Faith Lutheran Church.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. O sovereign God, by your omnipotent hand you have given us dominion over your creation. Yet we, through our abuse of the liberty you have given, have corrupted your good creation. In our fall, you have given governing authorities the sword to curb our sin, establish justice, and promote peace. You command them to approve those who do what is good and right according to your will, and to bring your wrath upon those who do wrong in rebellion. Therefore we pray your Spirit be upon these your servants, that they wield the sword according to your will and command. Enlighten and defend them as they deliberate and fulfill their duty. Grant them divine counsel and understanding. Guide and protect them for the sake of your people and the general welfare of the citizens of Ottawa. Help them fulfill their responsibilities with integrity by turning to your statutes and following your will. In your almighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Roth. Do we have any public comments registered?
We have none registered.
Okay, we will move on to item 7, appointments, proclamations, recognitions, nominations, and public hearings. Item 7A. Proclamation recognizing Religious Freedom Day, which will be read by Commissioner Clayton.
The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas January 16th, 2025 is recognized as National Religious Freedom Day, a day to celebrate and reaffirm the fundamental right of religious freedom for all citizens. And whereas religion has its greatest impact not at the national level but at the local level, where people of faith live by their convictions and serve and bless one another on a one-to-one basis, fostering a sense of community and mutual support. And whereas religion benefits our community by providing a moral compass, fostering love, and offering strength during loss. For decades, religious institutions and people of faith have played a crucial role in our city through charitable activities, aiding the needy, comforting those in loss, and encouraging us to high standards of integrity. And whereas the United States Constitution and the Kansas Constitution affirm the right of all citizens to freely exercise their religious faith or non-religious beliefs in the public square without being deprived of other rights or privileges. And whereas we all benefit from a pluralistic society where residents of all beliefs work together for the common good while holding divergent viewpoints. And whereas all citizens are free to exercise such influence as their ideas and values may engender. And whereas Ottawa welcomes and protects people of diverse backgrounds by allowing them to freely live according to their deeply held convictions as protected by law. And whereas Ottawa encourages all residents to strive to understand the experiences and concerns of others while supporting the essential role religion plays in protecting human dignity, strengthening society, and fostering a culture of tolerance and peace. Now, therefore, the governing body of the City of Ottawa, Kansas, does hereby proclaim January 16th, 2025 as Religious Freedom Day. Signed this 15th day of January 2025 by our Mayor, Emily Allen.
In accepting this proclamation, we have Jason Irvin and Carrie Jossie.
It is a privilege for us to be here today and witness this proclamation on behalf of our congregation in the Ottawa Ward for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Like many of you, I have friends and family of various religions and philosophies. Because of our differences, I have learned about myself, the context of my beliefs, and what I can do for others. I simply would not be who I am without them. In the spirit of this proclamation, I would like to share a quote by Elder Ronald A. Rasband of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles of our church. I invite you to champion the cause of religious freedom. It is an expression of the God-given principle of agency. Religious freedom brings balance to competing philosophies. The good of religion, its reach, and the daily acts of love which religion inspires only multiply when we protect the freedom to express and act on our core beliefs.
Thank you, City of Ottawa, for promoting kindness, tolerance, and religious freedom. We claim the privilege of worshiping God according to the dictates of our conscience and allow all men the same privilege. Let them worship how, where, or what they may. So we gratefully accept this proclamation on behalf of the Ottawa Ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Next, we have a proclamation recognizing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 20th, 2025. This proclamation will be accepted by Richard Jackson and it will be read by Commissioner Crowley.
And the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas on October 19, 1983, the U.S. Congress passed legislation making the third Monday of every January, beginning with 1986, the day America would honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a national holiday. And whereas on January 16, 2002, the Ottawa City Commission made the King holiday an official city holiday. And whereas this is the first national holiday to honor an individual Black American. And whereas the King holiday affords all of us an opportunity to reflect upon the past while seeking hope, determination, and an opportunity to act upon the promise of the future. And now, therefore, the governing body of the City of Ottawa, Kansas does hereby recognize Monday, January 20th, 2025 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and reminds all citizens to remember the legacy of Dr. King lives in each of us, and we are responsible to promote, teach, and live the American dream. Signed this 15th day of January 2025 by our Mayor, Emily Allen.
And I'm not seeing Richard here this morning, so we'll make sure he gets that. I do want to emphasize it's kind of like what my work says. It's not a day off, but a day on rather. So it's a good day for public service, and we'll make sure Richard gets that. We'll move on to item 7C, recognition of Levi Harn and DJ Welsh for the completion of Certified Public Manager certification.
Honorable Mayor and Commissioners and fellow public servants to the citizens of Ottawa. We want to take this time to highlight, both for this agenda item and the next agenda item, our employees who are putting education and training at the forefront so that we as individuals and collectively as work groups and ultimately as the city organization can better serve you and our citizens. And I would like to recognize Levi and DJ. Levi is our wastewater superintendent and DJ is our interim public works director. A little bit about the Certified Public Manager program is it's through the University of Kansas and enhances management and leadership skills focused in public service. And it focuses on primary components of communications and strategic planning, as well as performance management, benchmarking, etc. And we want to take this moment to show our appreciation to DJ and to Levi. So with that, I would like to say thank you, and if you want to come up to be recognized. I know you've already got your certifications, so we won't be able to give you your certificates.
Do they want to come up here?
Yeah.
Together? We'll squish.
Yeah, I was like this.
We always sit at the same table because we have the same confused people. Congratulations.
Excellent job. Congratulations for everything.
And now it's Brian and Josh's turn to get their picture taken. We would like to recognize for the Emerging Leaders Academy, which is the one of the steps that's traditionally taken before attending the CPM program, and it enhances and shows that kind of introductory to mid-level management and leadership skills, focusing on, again, the best practices of strategic planning, performance management, strength-based leadership, and supervisory skills and practices. And want to recognize Brian Dermott and Josh Hinderliter. Brian is electric plant operator. He's an operator 2, and Josh is our assistant street superintendent. And we're grateful for their dedication and commitment in serving the organization, but particularly as public servants serving this great community. And so with that, I would ask Brian and Josh to come up for their photos.
All right, there you go. Glad you're here. Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Does anybody we recognize, would anybody like to say any comments? I think they're solid. I would like to thank them for doing these things in addition to your normal work duties, I'm sure. So I'm taking on extra and bettering yourselves in the community as well. So thank you. We will move on to item 8, which is the consent agenda, which includes minutes from January 8th, 2025 meeting, as well as the agenda approval.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda has been approved. We will move on to item 9, which is the declaration. At this time, I'd like to give the commissioners a chance to declare any conflict or communication they've had that might influence their ability to consider today's issues impartially. Seeing none, we will skip item 10, which is unfinished business, as there is none. And item 11, 11A.
Commission board / commission assignments for 2025.
And we have City Manager Silcott, it looks like, facilitating this conversation.
That's right. Of course, ultimately, this is your conversation, and I'm the individual that gets to punch the slide forward to go over. In your agenda packet, we list the citizen commissions that are requiring service, and we appreciate this because this is something that is one of the many responsibilities of your position and your service to our community that is one of many that is kind of out of view of the public, and it's extra hours and time away from your family and your commitment to your world outside of the city and your family and work. So we're grateful for that and want to say thank you. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Mayor, for deliberation on where you would like as a body to allocate your attendance and focus. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. So we have we'll just kind of go down the list. We have the Airport Advisory Board. It looks like the mayor is ex officio. Currently, we have Commissioner Crowley serving on. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Chamber of Commerce, it's traditionally the mayor pro tem, would be Commissioner Clayton Works. FCDC, traditionally the mayor. I've actually attended one of the meetings already, so carry on with that. Kansas Municipal Energy Agency, we currently have Commissioner Kaler. That or
That's an appointment. You've already
oh,
appointed.
we've appointed. Yes. We're good there.
Standing appointment.
Library Board, got a lot of mayor ones. That looks like that's me. Oh, okay. Great. Neighborhood Revitalization Program Review Committee, Commissioner Kaler. Is that something you'd like to keep?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Ottawa Main Street, we currently have Mayor Pro Tem Clayton.
Yeah.
You want to keep that one as
Yeah,
well?
that's fine.
Okay, we'll keep this. Ottawa Memorial Auditorium Advisory Board. I have served on that board for a while, but I'm okay passing it off if.
You can put me on.
Okay. Prairie Pause.
Guess it leaves me. I'll take that one.
Okay, there we go.
You'll like it. Oh, good.
Yeah,
It's all
it's right
numbers.
up your alley.
We're gonna meet every
gonna
week
be your
now.
favorite meeting.
Okay, so it looks like went through all of those. Do we have a motion to approve those as we just suggested?
Madam Mayor, I shall move.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Those appointments pass. We will move on to item 11B.
Consider a service agreement with Benesch and Company for project administration of the KOWI Airport Taxiway Reconstruction Project.
We have City Manager Silcott going to present on this. This agenda item seeks approval of a professional consulting services agreement with Alfred Benesch and Company. The agreement authorizes the city manager to execute the contract encompassing tasks related to bidding, construction administration, and project closeout. These services will ensure the compliance with FAA standards and support critical infrastructure improvements for the airport parallel taxiway reconstruction project, a key component of the 2025 adopted capital improvement program. Manager Silcott.
Thank you. And I also have our engineer who is really at the forefront of helping us navigate this convoluted, complex FAA process. We have Brad Waller here from Benesch to answer any questions. I'll go through the PowerPoint presentation here, and then after I conclude the financials, I'll ask Brad to kind of provide an update and some comments, and then if you have any technical questions for the project or the FAA process, Brad or myself can answer, but you'll get a more concise answer from Brad, so I'll be happy to hand that over to him. We're asking for your approval of this consulting services agreement and to authorize the city manager to execute that agreement. How we got here today, we have a critical infrastructure need that was originally supposed to be a repavement. In other words, like an application of a new surface. And in that inspection, critical infrastructure points came to bear as far as the condition and the need to do more detailed and aggressive rehabilitation of that taxiway, and that requires a full reconstruction. This was again included in our 2017 master plan, which is our long-term roadmap for this facility, and it was originally again scheduled last year. Its total estimated construction cost is $3.2 million, which has 90% FAA, 10% local match for the city. So the federal government will pick up the bulk of that purchase. What we do anticipate going forward from this would be, sorry, I went way too fast. The agreement itself includes your scope of services, and it is in great detail explained in attachment A of the exhibit, and you can click that hyperlink on your agenda report or from the city webpage. With this agenda packet is included for additional details, but ultimately we're looking at a construction administration agreement for a total of $389,201. That also includes the bidding services, base construction administration, the alternate, which we will get into here subsequently due to the price and the funds available. And then it is, again, within the FAA framework, and it can be terminated should either party agree. And we had to conduct an independent fee evaluation, which is required for any federal funding that is received. And this was found to be in alignment with industry standards and project scope. So there was no issues related to the scope and the fees being extraordinary. What we're anticipating going forward is, if this is approved today, between tomorrow and February 6th, finalize those plans for bidding. We'll have the plans for bidding posted no later than February 7th. We'll have a virtual pre-construction conference on February 24th. Then on March 6th, we'll have the bid opening here at City Hall at 10 a.m. with the City Commission considering it on the 19th. We'll have some staff items that will need to get turned around and included in the packet, and then we'll have a no later than April 1st work to finalize and get the grant application signed. Now, this project budget again is $3.2 million. We have essentially $1 million, $998,334 available. Our local match is 110 of that, so phase one total is at 1.1 million. The funding gap is 2.5. So what we're doing is looking at transportation and housing and urban development funding, as well as congressional direct spending allocation if possible. And we hope to have something for that in late spring, early summer, an award for that, which is why this project is being bid in 3 phases, so that if we receive it in its entirety, we could do all 3 at once. If we receive partial, we can look then at doing phase 1 or phase 2. And then if not, ultimately, then we would be doing it a bite at a time over a period of time to complete all 3 phases. And again, because the IFE, the independent fee estimate, was required, I included that here in financials and went into a little greater detail in the agenda report for that process in the financial form. Now, our legal considerations are to ensure that all of our contracts and agreements comply with state and federal regulations, as well as the numerous FAA circulars that I've outlined here within the terms and conditions of the agreement. So with that, I'll ask Brad to come up and provide additional comments and answer any questions that you might have with respect to this project, the process overall, and the path forward.
Thanks, Brian. Morning. Brad Waller with Benesch, airport on-call engineer for, 8 or 9 years. We were discussing upstairs how long it's been, so I think it's about there. I think everything you did is accurate, except one thing, and it's my fault because I made a mistake, but you're going to like this mistake. In all of our coordination and discussion, the grants for FAA are 90-10. They've been that way for years. For whatever reason, Congress has decreed that this year's FY25 and then next year's 26 are 95.5. So you're going to pay half price. So there you go. Done. No. So I could sit here and talk for a long time on this, and I can educate a lot of this history of where we've got to. Real quick, the project was designed using a KDOT Aviation grant. It is designed and ready to go and almost ready to go out the door here in a few weeks. Our contract is set where that $170,000 base bid, it falls into that $1 million approximate funding we already have from FAA. We have the go letter in hand, so we're ready to go with it, which is why we're bidding it. We are still waiting to hear from Senator Moran's office on the CDS. I do have a call into them on Monday, and I haven't heard back yet. As you can imagine, politically, they're playing very close to the vest until they're ready to say one way or another. Would like to think we're in good shape, and we're going to get good news at some point. The problem is last year's round of funding announcement didn't come out till March, so we just don't know when it will happen. With FAA's grant fiscal year, we have to have the grant application submitted by April 1, which is the schedule we talked about, which is why we have to bid it here and advertise in February and April. So we're kind of playing both hands here, and we'll play it dependent upon that. So if we do not get the congressional spending, I believe the city's match is going to drop from the 110 or so that Brian had to probably about 55 to 60,000 as a kind of a maximum match for this year. I do not know if that CDS is 90-10 or 95-5, so don't hold me to that. But if that does come through, the total project was like a 3.8 to 3.9 million. The city's budget tops was like 350,000 or somewhere in that ballpark. Again, going down depending on there. So I can go into a lot of more details or stand for any questions, but in the interest of time, I don't want to just sit here and talk to hear myself talk. So I'll open it up for any questions.
Like that half price special. Let's see if we can take advantage of that. So appreciate that. Good news, definitely. On that taxiway, how do we know how old the current one is? I know we're looking at replacing that, of course. How old is the current one?
That's a question I'm not prepared to answer off the top of my head, but I believe it's 30 plus,
Okay.
based upon our last assessments.
So we got our useful life.
Oh, we've got useful life out of it.
More
Yes,
than that. Okay.
more than that. Yep.
That's always good.
Yep. And it is just a taxiway, no connectors anywhere else, and we're phasing it 3 phases. One, to make sure the airport stays open as much as possible, and then obviously for the funding opportunities mechanisms.
So in your guys' proposal, you said you've got the alternate, so that's essentially for all 3 phases, kind of all encompassing.
Yeah.
Say funding does not come through for phases 2 and 3 in the next couple of years. Say there's whatever happens in the economy, and we're looking further out. You guys have a length of time that essentially this contract is good for, or would expire if the funding does not get secured in a certain amount of time, or how that would kind of look?
Sure. I would say from our, what we divided out, and especially in our scope, is we have 219,000 for the physical day-to-day inspection of phases 2 and 3. If we don't get funded for it, we're not going to touch that. That's going to stay, which leaves at about 170,000. And then we just would close the contract at the end and be done. If we were to get funding, we'd obviously include it and go, and that's obviously how you would pay for it too on that 90-10 or 95-5 match. But the plans, so let's just say we don't get that extra funding. We do phase 1, but roughly a third of the taxiway, and we just sit on it. We have the plans and everything designed to go to the next round. All it would take is a little bit of time just to update for what was done, quantities, that type of thing, and then go back out to bid and do it again. So I'm not saying those numbers are going to stay accurate forever, but so we would refigure it out that time with a funding assistance. It would not be city funded entirely, I'm sure. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
I guess? Okay.
Yep. And then kind of following Commissioner Skidmore's question, what would be the life expectancy of this concrete?
FAA designs it to a 20-year lifespan. That is the requirement, and when you do a life cycle cost analysis and pavement design and go through, it's a far field. I don't want to get technical, but basically you have to design it to their requirements. And I will say FAA has a very particular way they design their infrastructure. Whether you are in Los Angeles or Florida or Ottawa, Kansas, it's the exact same specifications and the exact same requirements. And a lot of the issues that we have locally in Kansas as we work with contractors as they complain about is it's not a KDOT mix for concrete and base course. It is a little bit higher, more stringent level. And it does cost more than, say, a KDOT mix or a local street. But again, you're getting that 90-10 or 95-5 match, which is what helps. So I would like to say it's going to last longer than 20 years. And a lot of it goes into your maintenance plan. If we pour it, and just like anything else in life, if you do a project and let it sit, it's going to degrade faster and deteriorate and drop off sooner. If in the first 5 to 7 years we do some maintenance on it, such as crack sealing or joint sealing or something, or resurfacing, or not resurfacing, but working on the surface, whatever it might be, spalling issue, you'll get a lot longer life. That $1 of maintenance in the first 5 years goes a lot longer than $1 20 years later, where it's really fallen off.
And the material parts and testing, which is an expense, is included in their base bid. So some cities break it out separately, part and parcel with that, because it is sized when talking about a project.
Do we have any other questions? Do we have a motion for this?
Well, I just want to say, Commissioner Kaler's been on here longer than I have, but Brett, I've been working with you. I didn't know it was 8 or 9 years ago, so it's been a while. So we all worked with you on this, and we always appreciate everything you've done. Your approach, to use an aeronautical term, has always been very above perfect. I mean, I'm saying you leave no stone unturned. Your report the last time, I don't know, it was about that thick, I believe, and anyway, it's very thorough. I want to say that your work is very good, everything you do. So I'll make the motion. We approve this agreement with Benesch and Company for the taxiway reconstruction, as well as our agreement that we've been talking about today. Item 11B.
Do we have a second?
I will second.
Any other discussion? Have a roll call vote.
How do you vote, Commissioner Skinner?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaler?
Yes.
Commissioner Crowley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Clayton?
Yes.
Mayor Allen?
Yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Hopefully we'll see you here March 18th or whatever that date was with some good bids and
Yeah.
some information, good packaging.
And no snow.
And no snow. That's
No
good.
snow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That'll bring us on to item 12, comments by our city manager.
And we'll keep this relatively brief, but I do want to point out that our new general manager, director of golf, our head golf professional, Rob Linar, has began work, and he's here today. Well, I saw him earlier, so he's not here right now, but he's hit the ground running. Want to also take time, as we discussed, to highlight Director Scott Sneathen's promotion to Director of Utilities. This includes our water, wastewater, and electric operations, and I'm pleased to work with him. And his responsibilities, obviously, are kind of directing that strategic direction and ensuring that our focus and our projects are where they need to be, not only for delivering the reliable services that we expect today, but doing so in a prudent manner and accommodating the growth for tomorrow. And also want to take the time to acknowledge DJ Welsh as our interim Public Works Director in his role. He was originally our Public Works Operations Manager, and prior to that, he focused on our our Parks Superintendent. So he oversaw Parks and Cemetery and has added streets and stormwater to that mix now. And it's been a pleasure working with him and seeing him grow and apply those attributes and principles that he learned or was learning concurrently in CPM at the same time that we were in discussions about that for our organization as well. So that was timely. Want to point out that Jersey Nights has been canceled. We'll look forward to having that rescheduled in the future, but there'll be plenty of time for another New Jersey rocker. There'll be a Bon Jovi tribute band in Journey February 7th. So please, if you're interested in that, get your tickets, unless you want to live on a prayer and walk up to the window for, sorry, Commissioner Skidmore's rubbing off on everyone.
That's good. That's good.
And with that, we have no meeting next week, as it will be the League of Kansas Municipalities City Hall Day. So that conflicts with our meeting date. So our next meeting will be on Wednesday, January 29th, which is also Kansas Day, our state's birthday. And with that, we'll have a proclamation recognizing Kansas Day. We'll have a proclamation recognizing February as Black History Month. We also want to take the time to point out Officer Larrabee Alexander as the recipient of the Richard Lemunion Hall of Fame Award. And we will have our electric utility rate review. And then you'll receive fourth quarter reports and project updates. And we'll, again, keep those fourth quarter reports more to a digestible 1 to 2 slide kind of thing, and then answer your questions with more detail in the packet. And with that, that concludes my report, unless you have any questions for myself or another member of the city team.
Any questions?
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 13, comments by our governing body. We'll start, Taylor,
None at this time.
Commissioner Crowley,
No comment.
go down to Commissioner Skidmore.
Yeah, just one more thing about our continuing education for our people. I always love to see promotion from within if we can. So congratulations once again, gentlemen, for your accomplishments. I've seen DJ on the internet. He can handle 9mm pretty well, so I don't ever want to make him mad. I know that. But nonetheless, congratulations, men, and hopefully I look forward to great success here.
Mayor Pro Tem Clayton.
As well, congratulations on everyone on their accomplishments, and then Scott and DJ for your guys' promotions. So look forward to working with you guys more hand in hand for the future. And other than that, I do not have anything else.
And I was going to mention the same thing. Congratulations to everyone on all of the achievements and the promotions and certifications and all of the great things that everyone's doing for our city. You guys are doing great, and we appreciate you extending yourselves for those things. We'll move on to item 14, which are the announcements. We have tomorrow the Chamber Annual Awards and Banquet at 5:15 at Ottawa University Schendel Conference Center. January 22nd, as City Manager Silcott mentioned, our meeting is canceled due to the League of Kansas Municipalities Local Government Day, PICA. And then January 29th is our next City Commission meeting at 4 o'clock here in City Hall.